Hey there, scholars. Welcome to another lesson in well-ordered language with me, Mr. Brace. So today we are continuing along with our adventure with adjectives. In our last video, we introduced adjectives and what they are and what they do in a sentence. And today we're continuing along with that practice. So let's do a brief review. So adjectives are a part of speech that modifies a noun or a pronoun. It answers the question how many, whose, which one, or what kind. Our little song. Sing along if you want to.
An adjective is a part of speech used to describe or define the meaning of a noun or pronoun. It answers the question how many, whose, which one, or what kind. It modifies a noun or pronoun. An adjective is a part of speech used to describe or define the meaning of a noun or pronoun. It answers the questions how many, whose, which one, or what kind. It modifies a noun or pronoun.
Awesome. If you would like to re-listen to that, go ahead and rewind. And our noun is a part of speech. It names a person, place, thing, quality, or an idea. A noun can be singular, as in one, or plural, as in more than one. Verbs are a part of speech that shows action or a state of being. Adverbs, which is our previous chapter, a part of speech. It modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. It answers the question how, when, or where. Principal elements are parts of a sentence that are needed for a sentence to be completed. Subject and predicate are those parts. And 8 parts of speech are classes of words with the same kind of meaning and use. They are nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, pronouns, conjunctions, interjections. All right. Let's go ahead and do a quick warm-up. So I want you to fill in the blank with an appropriate adjective. You can write it down. You can just say it out loud. Number 1, the blank day dawned. The blank day dawned. Think about it for a second. All right. Go ahead and say it out loud now. Ooh, Hunter. That was a good one. I like that one. All right, number 2. An blank racer sped around. Notice the beginning I used an an, which means that your adjective needs to start with a vowel sound. So go ahead and think about it for a second. All right, go ahead and say it out loud. An racer sped around. Ooh, Olivia, that was a real good one. I liked it. Number 3, the blank lights silently blinked. The blank lights silently blinked. Go ahead and take a second. Think about it. All right, I'm going to read the sentence. You go ahead and say it. The lights silently blinked. Zoe, that one was incredible. Well done. All right, number 4, several blank bikers rested. Think about it for a second. All right, and go ahead and say it out loud as I read the sentence. Several bikers rested. Peter, that was a good one. All right, number 5, a blank pup yelped very softly. Now, I'm using the letter A or the word A. That means your adjective needs to start with a consonant. A blank pup yelped very softly. Go ahead and think about it for a second. And say it out loud as I read it. A pup yelled very softly. John, bravo. That was a good one, bud. All right, number 6. Swiftly, the blank girls zoomed ahead. Go ahead and think about it. And say it as I read it. Swiftly the girls zoomed ahead. Alex. Well done, bud. That was a good one. Bravo to you. All right. That was a nice little warm-up. Hopefully you followed along. And let's go ahead and practice analyzing and diagramming some sentences. So let's look at this first one. The local morning paper will arrive soon. So this is a sentence because it makes complete sense and expresses a complete thought. And it's a declarative sentence because it makes a statement. This sentence is about the paper. So that is my subject. It's what my sentence is about. And then this sentence tells us that paper will arrive. So I'm going to double underline my predicate. It will arrive. That is, I'm going to put a capital P above it. And then it shows action, so it is a verb. And then will is one of my helping verbs. Helping verbs. All right. Now that I have my subject and my predicate, I can go through and do my modifiers. Remember, I start at the end of my sentence and work towards the beginning. So soon tells me when they will arrive. When the papers will arrive. So I'm going to put ADV as an adverb. Just because we're introducing adjectives does not mean we're going to stop using adverbs. So be on the lookout for those adverbs. Okay, morning tells me what kind of paper. It's the morning paper. So I'm going to put ADJ. Local also tells me what kind of paper. It's not a world paper, it's the local paper. And you know what? I'm going to do a better job at that. I can put these two lines together because they're describing the same thing. ADJ. And which paper? It's the paper. Again, I can attach these because they all three are describing paper. Okay, that's how we analyze this sentence. Let's go ahead and look at diagramming it. So I'm going to draw my baseline. I'm going to write my subject. Notice I didn't capitalize it because it's not capitalized in the sentence. Draw my vertical line, and you know what? I'm going to give myself some space because I know I'm going to have to use 3 adjectives, so I'm going to actually do it right there. And then will arrive. Oops. I was thinking too far ahead, and I dotted my R. Arrive. Okay. All right, now I can go through from the start of my sentence. So I have a line down. I'm going to write the. I capitalized it because it's at the beginning of my sentence. Local is describing paper, and then morning also. Notice why I added those 3 lines gave myself some extra room. And then I can go through and do the end of my sentence. I have the word soon, and that is describing will arrive. Okay. All right, that is how I analyze and diagram that sentence. We're starting to use kind of a lot of space, so that's why I kept saying make sure to be neat and tidy. The sloppier you are, the harder it is to read all this stuff. And if you guys notice, I pre-planned out my baseline so I can make sure to give myself enough room to do 3 adjectives in there. All right, let's go ahead and do another sentence. Oh, and I already noticed a silly mistake I had made. Let's see if I can change it. There we go. Now that's a comma. I guess I just pushed a period instead of a comma when I was typing this out. All right, so fortunately, the young pilot flew skillfully. So let's go ahead and analyze this sentence. This sentence is about a pilot. It's my subject. And flew tells me about the subject. So that is my predicate verb. Okay. Now I'm going to go through and do my modifiers now that I have my principal elements out of the way. And remember, I start at the period and work my way down. Skillfully tells me how he flew, or how the pilot, I shouldn't say he, could have been she, he or she flew, the pilot flew. ADV, because it's describing a verb. Okay, pilot. So young tells me what kind of pilot. It's a young pilot. And the which pilot. And then ADJ. I can connect those two lines because they're describing the same thing. And lastly, fortunately also tells me about how he flew. Fortunately. Notice I cannot, even though they are describing the same verb, I cannot attach the lines of skillfully and fortunately. They're coming from two separate directions, so I need to make two separate arrows. And then in the corner opposite of the arrow, ADV for adverb. All right, let's go ahead and diagram this sentence. So I'm going to put my subject first, pilot. Don't capitalize it because it's not capitalized in my sentence. Draw my vertical line, giving myself a little bit of room because I realize I need to add two lines. And then flew. All right, go through the start of my sentence. Fortunately goes to flew. And I'm going to capitalize it because it's the start of my sentence. And then the tells me about the pilot. And young. And then skillfully goes to flew. All right. And that's how you analyze and diagram that sentence. So your job now is to do lesson B, workbook pages 56 and 57 in your workbook of well-ordered language. So let's go ahead and take a look. Analyze the following sentences, then diagram them in the space provided. Remember, these are getting to be long sentences, so you need to make sure to be neat. Use a ruler if you need to. So number 1, or letter A, the local morning paper will arrive soon. The local morning paper will arrive soon. Oh, we analyzed and diagrammed that one already, so go back and rewind and analyze it if you need to catch up. B, a front page article accurately reports. So go ahead and analyze and diagram that one on your own. I will say a little hint for you. Front page, it has that hyphen. So that is kind of one word or phrase together. So you only have to label that as one. It doesn't need to be two. That's why there's the hyphen there. Front page is kind of one word. Then C, one tiny plane spiraled downward. You can analyze and diagram that one on your own. And D, fortunately, the young pilot flew skillfully. We did that one. Go ahead and rewind if you need to. Okay. Number 2, I'm kind of in the way, so let me move myself. There we go. All right. Write one sentence with 2 descriptive adjectives about a passenger. So remember, descriptive, you're telling me what kind. So you get to be creative with that sentence. Number 3, what does an adjective modify? That was in our song. That was in our review at the start of this video. It is also in your glossary of terms. Question number 4. For the following phrases, fill in the missing article adjective, a or an. So an example, an oblong bedroll, or a silvery trout. Just a reminder that an is used when it's following a or preceding a vowel sound. So if the next word is a vowel sound, you use an. If it is a consonant, then you use a. And you're going to do that for the rest of them. Great tent, trusted campus, go down the list. Fill in, is it an or a? And number 5, imagine that you recently visited another city and state. Write a sentence about it. Be sure to place commas correctly before and after the state's name. So in our previous lesson, we learned that you need to put a comma in between a city and a state. So you just need to write a sentence that has a city and a state listed. So simple, I recently visited blank. So Roseville, California. I recently visited Reno, Nevada. I recently visited Salem, Oregon. You pick the city and state and then tell me a little bit what you did there. I recently visited Salem, Oregon to visit my younger brother. That's what I did over the summer, actually. So write a simple sentence. Make sure to put a comma between the city and the state. All right, and that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you next time.